What's going on, guys? Back out here for another one. No rhyme or reason what we're doing today. Finish up the collector, finish welding the inside of that baffle plate, add our little deflector to the end of the baffle plate. Hopefully, get half of our stack put on here, the bottom half before it collapses. So, hopefully, get that put on there and weld it up, cut in place. Just a little bit of everything. If it needs done and we see it, we're going to tackle it. I just ordered my thermostat for it. Actually got a bung hole this time that you cut the hole, weld it in there, then your thermostat can just screw in place. And I'm going to try some high temp gasket on this one. It has a pretty good fit. This door, it still slides left and right, so sometimes it'll look like it's not shut all the way, but you just got to bump it over. We'll put a little welded stop on there to keep it in place once we're done. But that being said, I'm gonna put some gasket on here, and I'm gonna put some gasket on here on the door. Just nice tight seal. It's so little. I want it to work as efficiently as possible, without being too efficient, which is such a thing in the barbecue world. So, without further ado, without any more rambling, let's get into it. All right, guys, that's a wrap for today. Nothing new on the firebox. Collectors covered in splatter and metal shavings, but it's done. Just going to come in here with the flap disc and just make a couple of these little joints right here pretty. But other than that, I mean, the welds are, I'm proud of them welds. Across the bottom, top, bottom, sides, everything's done. Around the stack is done. Again, there's splatter, but we're just going to, since it's so small, I'm just going to wrap, I'm just going to flap disc everything at the end. These don't line up, which is fine. I knew that when I did it. I'm going to round this off anyways and make them look really pretty. I just wanted to get them on there. So I know that doesn't line up. I'm going to make them line up before it's over and done. Built some quick hinges, threw them on there. And I got the glove on right now just to show you that this thing does move, but it's still piping hot from welding it on there. So go up there with the flap disc, hit the pipe and the damper. It'll move a little bit smoother, but it does move. Again, we'll make that look 10 times easier whenever it's all flap disc down. This side's nice and welded. The inside of this thing has been a pain in the ass. Damper plate right there. I did not put that deflector on there that I was talking about. I got to thinking about it. I don't know that it's going to make that much of a difference. If it does, I'll throw it in there. This is a bracket for the expanded metal that's going to go over here. There's another one on this side that's going to go over here. Just so you can, if you need to, you can extend something over that way, or you can throw something on there you don't want all the way up in the heat. You can put it up here near the stack, or something quicker like a small pot of beans, a little aluminum pan full of beans. You can put it over top of that heat, or a water pan when that expanded metal's here, and then keep your ribs or whatever it may be here. Got the tabs on both sides welded on. So you can lock it out. Load up what you want to load up on there. Back in it goes. Perfect fit. Couldn't be happier. I've seen a lot of other guys make this really nice and tight. Looks really good. You can't see my finger on that side, but it looks really good. But what I've come to learn with mine is over time, you're going to get that gunk built up on here. No matter how much you clean it, I mean, in that expanded metal, it's going to build up. So I like to have just a little bit. It's probably about a 1/4 inch, maybe a little bit more of clay right there. Just so if it does get a little gunky or you don't clean it as much as you probably should, then you're good. Nice fit. Everything's nice and tight. That side kind of pulled in on me a little bit when I welded up the rest of that damper plate in there. Everything shuts like it should. Nothing touches. I even looked through my handy dandy little hole here and made sure. But she's badass. She's cool. That stack is huge. You probably won't need to crack that thing open more than that much or so before it starts pulling all the air you could possibly think of, or all the air you could possibly want. It does fold. Made a little boo-boo on that, but damn, I just told y'all that was hot and I grabbed it. Let's see here. It does not lay flat. It hits those hinges, and it's just, I should have made it 9 inches instead of 8. Trying to keep it nice and slim, but not bad. I mean, if you're just going to put it in the garage to store it out of the way, you can put it like that. I'll still put some kind of little leg or something here just to keep it supported, so it's not just hanging out right there by itself without any kind of support. So but yeah, guys, shoot, maybe another day and I'll get those grates in there. I haven't quite decided on the top rack. I'm going to ask the guy that's getting it if he thinks he should if we should put a top rack on the inside. And then I want to build some kind of little tiny basket in there for some coals or something, so you don't have to put your coals on there on the bottom. Or if he wants to put them on the bottom, match light and a couple pieces of wood or little blocks of wood, then we can do that. So I'll leave that up to him whether he wants the basket and the top rack. That little piece there is what I cut out from the throat. I'm just going to shave it up a little better. That way I can put it on a pole and he can just reach in there effortlessly and clean that thing out. So I keep it in there so I don't lose it. Metal shavings on everything. But as always, guys, I appreciate the love, the views, the comments, the shares, everything. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one.